Hi, it's Ben from this website, and this is the video today. And this video above it I made yesterday. Organic portal body, psychedelically dissolving into ensouling at the end, bracket, partial bracket, because it's like an add-on, don't forget the full stop at the end of the sentence. That's basically what this is. This is the full stop, and at the same time giving context. Because we're at the end. The end of a sentence has a full stop, and that's the analogy I just made. We're at the end of human history. What's next? Well, clearly robots, yeah? Have you been looking at the robots and what they're doing? Because they're advancing and pretty damn quick. We've got this AI Sophia. I'm sure you've all, at least heard of her and seen some clips. So you can see that they're, putting the human face on the machine already. A few years ago we had that Japanese university, I don't know, Osaka University I think it is, in Japan. That guy from there, he created a robot which looks exactly like him. It just had less sort of speech function, I think less facials maybe. It was just more the old type of robot where it's clunky. That machine clunk is going to evolve to a machine buzz, and I made a video recently called The Matrix Hive Mind 2, The Buzz, because the first one was the immaterial Huzz, but in that one I was just talking about the machine city of the future and how it'll sound like a beehive. I was just then comparing that sort of sound of a busy robotic hive of the future manifest to the clunky, disassociated robots we have now. And it's both of those words. They're very clunky and they're both disassociated. Just like in the early epochs of man. Man was clunkier, more dissociated, and now we're all associated with each other, and we're much more confluent and smooth, And we've come together. We're much more one now. We're not all just don't know about each other in different parts of the forest, We know who's in that neck of the woods. We know who's in the other neck of the woods. Who's south, who's east, who's west. Blah, blah, blah. You got Crips and Bloods at the end of history. No, so, we all know each other now. The world's getting smaller because of the internet, and it's weird to think of it like that way, but it's very true, because you're going to see the same people. You'll see me for the next 50 years, 70 years, doing this same consciousine stuff. It'll evolve in its various ways, but I'll still be doing the general sort of conscious productions, I have a feeling, I hope anyway, if you guys will support me. And just quickly, when you donate your currency or your money, which is whatever currency you earned in around the world, at $30 US dollar, you can give me 30 of your currency if it's, the British pound or euro, is even more then, but just $30 US, standard benchmark. I shoot a food plant teaching video, because here at the end there seems to be a sixth mass extinction, and we seem to be simplifying nature for the robots. That is, that nature's not becoming more complex, it's losing animals, losing frequencies, and I think the plants are like the buffer of that. If the animals have, hiding places in the trees, then it's very likely we will still be able to have the animals. So I'm not targeting the animal, what are they called? Petitions. I'm not, at that end anymore where I'm filling out animal petitions. I'm trying to rather raise are very connected to the plant bolos type of consciousness, the plants, the plant body, the bolos of earth. Now let's talk about the logos of Earth. So if you donate $30, I'll happily shoot you a food plant teaching video and you'll help support all of these kinds of videos. I'd be very appreciative. I've already had this done for years, and that's why Conscious Zine's quite large, because a lot of people have helped me over the years by donating, giving articles and stuff as well. Anyway, so let's talk about the logos. And this is why I wrote Ensouling here. I feel that the plant logos of this earth, or our earth, is a sentient being, and I do feel I am in contact with it. And I do feel the shamans of the world are in the best, sort of closest contact with it. Which makes us the concrescents, by the way, not the white coat doctor. It's the multicolored doctor, after all. And, you know, I do feel that actually touching nature, being out on the ground, touching leaves, being next to the trees, which are emanating sounds. I have a saying, or a quote: trees sing themselves into existence, or the plants are singing themselves into existence. And when you get very silent within, or psychedeliated, which takes you to the silence within, I always notice these psychedelics at the right doses, at the higher doses, they take you to your inner silence, and in the insides of yourself, you know, the soul parts of yourself, so to speak. I notice that you can feel the plants, and you can get to a hypersensory state in nature, more than you can in the buzz of the city, the concrete jungle. And even though concrete channels some electricity, it's muffling the signal, it's attenuating the signal, and the higher light within the electricity in nature, or the anionized state, anionization, which means alignment. If you've studied, one ion anionized can align 1 million water molecules. So that's, you know, alignment, which means it's part of going within. And I do find when I drink purer water, I can dive deeper, and you know, it's better grounding session, more of the positive charge and pain comes off. Anyway, so when we go within, and in nature, I feel I feel I'm ensouling more, because I always come out with epiphanies. I always come out, and I have a video called Soulless meditation without epiphanization, because I always have these epiphanies, you know, sudden realizations that I almost know what I'm going to say before I say it, because it hasn't been passed and translated into English yet, but I can already see the vision in my pineal on my septum pellucidum. I can already see it like a projector screen with embedded language. I already know what I'm about to say. So when you can channel this third eye stream, you get this this skill yourself. And I really find that this happens really powerfully in nature. It's like super powerful and really big realizations. And then when I get on psychedelics, the true psychedelics, plant and fungi, natural, organic from the environment, you know, entheogens, then I seem to connect even more. They always take you within, and you always concentrate on yourself more. And that's why I really think we need to have them by ourselves, not in ceremonies. You need to have ayahuasca by yourself in a dark room with a bell, so if you get into any trouble, you can ring the bell and your friend can come running from 2 rooms away. Or more. I was paraphrasing Terence McKenna there. I think that's funny when he said that, because I so agree. He saw the same thing, you know, and since I've been in Uruguay, I've seen that for myself, that it's all about the money, the session, their drumming. I don't care about their drumming. It distracted my visions half the time. I was like going into the vision, then they start drumming and I come back out of it again. So I really dislike the ceremonies of ayahuasca here in South America, and I do see the thing how it's being marketed like, you know, a commodity now too much. Yes, it's a commodity, everything's a commodity, but let's not go nuts with that. You know? Let's keep it a bit realer and, you know, a bit more down to earth, so to speak. But yeah, so when we connect in nature, and I definitely recommend the use of psychedelics, I think probably yoga union with the divine partly or fully came from psychedelia and psychedelic conjunct use. But when we go into nature, we get in touch with this plant body mind, the logos of the bolos, and I feel that's a really interesting thing to be doing right now at the end of human history, because this is where you'll learn. It's Earth School. This is where you learn the real things, you know, the real stuff. It's also going to activate your gut brain more and your heart brain more, not just, you know, your lump brain in your head, your cerebro, and get in touch with the lighter energies which are real. You know, when I was younger, you know, I obviously had these in myself because of who I am, but whenever people talked about that stuff, I too was like, oh, I don't know, is that real? You know what I mean? Like, I was chi, I was already chi. I didn't even believe in chi. You know, I didn't have the belief, but I was doing it. So, yeah, that's what I mean. These things are real, and you've got a compromised surface mind, which we've all been involved in getting all over us, all over our nervous system. It's fouled our nets, this compromised surface virus mind, which is what the organic portal mind is, by the way. And that's why they are inherently psychopathic, in my opinion. As soon as you prod it, it's psychopathic. We can poke it from almost any direction, and you'll see what I mean. Probably any direction. We'll make more videos on that, the psychopathy of organic portals. Don't worry, that's coming. I already made one the other day. Okay, so when you're ensouling in nature, I think really to reiterate, nature helps a lot. I was going to swear, but yeah, a boatload. And, you know, I know there's billions of people, not just millions, but probably most people in the world don't understand this. So this isn't trivial. This isn't small. You know, this is as deep as it goes, and it's so far away from what people are doing. Nobody wants to stand barefoot on the ground anymore and just smoke a joint. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's so busy moving to the cities, and it's true. You might know a lot of people who might do what I aforementioned, but most people are moving to the city. And, you know, if you're doing that, it's not the same. Like, I've been in these parks in the city here in Uruguay, and it's like that. I never grew up like that. You go there and it's very synthetic. You go there, you sit there, smoke with your little friend group. Yeah, that's okay, cool. But, you know, and if you take your feet off, you look like some homeless bum. That's the point I'm trying to make. We've gone so far away in the fall. This history process was the falling away. That at the end of the history process, you should be reconnecting, you see, because it dissolves all those boundaries. And I think we'll go a long way to healing disease, not just by immune properties increasing if you, say, eat a spoon of dirt, so to speak, but, you know, and you get your natural immunity back. And we're going to need that because we're making more and more superbugs with all this, you know, synthetic pills of a single or a double antibiotic. Well, take garlic. There's been 40 antibiotics found in that little sucker. So you don't need the pills of the Matrix. First, you should at least try garlic, you know, and heavy dose it. I know the problems with garlic, and it's not. I don't just see it as a poison. You've got to understand deparasiting and delousing yourself. Yeah. Anyway, so you want to dissolve back into nature, I reckon, at the end. It seems to make sense because at the end of history, you know, at the start of history, we came out of nature, and it's been like a disconnection. But don't shoot off the far end, so to speak. It's the end of the ride, so get off here. Otherwise you become the organic portal placeholder type people, This system will turn you soulless, and you're a placeholder then for the larger body of the AI, which is manifesting these physical robots now.
ConsciousZine.com Chronicle.